Glory be to God Most High, and we will exalt His name forevermore. Hello, how are you doing? I trust by the grace and mercy and love of God, you are doing great, just as I am. I have a word of hope and healing for you today, and the word of hope and healing I have for you today, I've entitled it, Really? A Loser? Really? ? A loser? ? I'm on the series of encouraging you not to think about yourself as a loser or a failure just because you failed a couple of attempts of doing something. You are not a loser. You are God's blessed, chosen, anointed, loved, justified, glorified, honored child. You are God's child who He has fearfully and wonderfully created you intricately, puts in a specific plan and purpose for your life. He said He knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. That's how far God knows you. And that's how far He knows what He's going to do for you and with you. So when you fail, pick yourself up, put your chin up, put one foot in front of the other, and start over. First of all, go to God for guidance, directions from the Holy Spirit. Ask God to let His Holy Spirit be your guide, be your teacher, be your leadership, and let His angels guard you day and night. Go with you to do the assignment that He sent you to. And if it's an assignment He didn't send you to, then, my dear, you have no business tackling that or embarking on that journey, because it only will learn in failing. It will earn in failing. But failing is not a bad thing. Even though it's not a pleasant thing, it's a good thing. It's a good ground for us to learn. It's a good ground for us to grow. It's a good ground for us to develop our character. It's a good ground for us to turn back to God. It's a good ground to gain wisdom, insight, and understanding of life and life journey. So when we fail, we should not call ourselves losers or failure. When you lose something, you have lost something, but you are not a loser, my dear one. You are not a loser. So please do me a favor, my dear beloved. Never call yourself a loser. Never call yourself a failure, because you're not a failure. When you start over again after you failed, you know what? You're not starting from failing. You're starting from experience. You're not a failure. So you're not starting from a failure. You're starting from experience. Now you've matured, you've grown, you've developed. You have that growth mindset in you. And the leading of the Holy Spirit will guide you. And now you gain the wisdom to listen to God. You gain the wisdom to pay attention. You follow God and not go ahead of God. So failing is not a bad thing. It's not a thing to be demonized. Failing is difficult. Failing is hard. Failing is not pleasant, but failing is good. That vulnerability brings about your growth and maturity. That vulnerability, that vulnerability by failing or through losing gives you more power, more insight, more understanding. It opens your mind and your heart and your eyes, so that the next time you're embarking on that same journey or another journey, you have tools in your toolbox that you're going to use to help you grow, get there faster, get there effectively, and get there excellently. The Bible said whatever our hands find to do, we should do it with all diligence. So now you would do it with all diligence, because that failing experience has taught you, have matured you, have equipped you, and you got the power to do it better, to do it greater, to the glory of the Lord. So, my dear, all I'm telling you today is never give up. Never see yourself as a failure when you fail. Never see yourself as a loser when you lose, because it's all part of God's plan. And sometimes, just sometimes, the failing, the losing, it's all part of God's orchestrated plan to make you better, to bring you to a higher dimension, to use you for more, so that it will all be for His glory and it will bring you peace, joy, and the fulfillment you need in life. Until next time, give glory to the Lord, even in your failing, because He knows best. He knows the end from the beginning. And the Bible tells us, in all things, we should give thanks because God knows best. The things you think